This is part 2 of creating a scatter polar area chart, and so far we have this circle here. Of course, we need to make sure we position it rightly here. So let's start to work on how we can draw the shape. So far I was with this here, where we have the width plus left, and then here the y value, and I guess we can use here now immediately because of the chart area here. You can say here the top, and it will align this circle nicely here on the top. With this, we're doing that, you can see here we're now at the very top. Alright, we're getting closer now, and what I want to do next is making sure we have basically 3 segments here, or 3 circular segments, so that will hit the very bottom here nicely. So how do we do this? Well, let's start to continue on with this. Let's make sure that this becomes a moon or half moon shape. For that, all we need to do is here, we say here 180. If I save this, refresh, you can see here it will work perfectly. The reason why it works perfectly here is because the 0 starts here and 180 is here. If you say, well, hold on, I want to have it like at the bottom, which you can do as well. We can just say your bottom. Then we need to change the position of the moon up, or basically rotate that. To do that, we have to work with the logic here. And we cannot say 0 because 0 starts at the very right side. So what I'm going to say, we want to start at the left side, which is 180. And then we can just go to here to 360, something like that. And now we have rotated basically the shape. Alright. That is just in case, we can just put this back to 0, and then you can remove everything because anything multiplied by 0 is 0 by default. But I'll just leave it in for now, but you understand the logic. Let's push it up again to the very top. So now what I want to do is I want to extend the radius of this. So we're going to say here, that's the radius here. And the radius here should be calculated. And how do we calculate that? It's basically by looking at what is the height here of this. And then that will be eventually the guiding principle for us. So I'm going to say here, constant. And let's say here, this will be the segment, circular segment, but I'll just call it segment because we already have the term here. So just avoid confusion. So every segment is basically the height divided by 3. So then we have this, and we can put that in here. If I do this, put it in there. Now that's like that. And later on we have to loop through this basically to change and have a extending circle. But let's see, here we have this. So what we could do here now is basically to simplify it. We need to have this here, what we call put on a 0, 0. So basically this should be the starting point in the coordinates of 0, 0 instead of what it is now, because this here can be confusing, especially if you start to add more segments, you add more items in here, it can become confusing. So what I'm going to do here is build ctx.translate, or put in this code here. I will say now let's translate whatever was 0, 0, that's basically in the corner, to here. So basically we're giving a new defined 0 point. And the defined 0 point in this case will be whatever we have here. Let's copy all of this, put it in here. Then I will say this will be 0, and this will be 0. And if I save this, refresh, alright, so now it does all kind of crazy stuff because of the animation and anything in here. So remember we had to save the starting point. Then what you can do here is ctx restore. But you probably have to also undo. Oh, I guess we don't have to undo it. Normally, sometimes you have to undo it as well, but you can see here the restoration here, it will restore it back into its original position. So it will understand exactly to reset it as the animation goes. Because the reason why it happened is the animation is moving and changing all the time. Now we have this here. Let's start to work on the next shape because we're very close to it here. All we can do here now is, I'm going to say here, this will be, let's see, we can say here a for loop because we have how many segments we want to create. We want to create 3 items. That's why I have here. If you want to have more or lesser, you can change the number here. I selected 3 here without explaining it, but I just used 3 because I want to have 3 specific circular shapes. So we're going to say let I equals 0. Then we're going to say here loop through this based on 3. And in that case, once we did this, I plus plus. So then I can cut out this shape, put it in here. So now we have to make sure that we use the segment here into our favor. We can say multiply by I plus 1. I guess we can do it like that. Then we should have 3 items here or 2. Let's see if it's maybe this or equal to. There we are. That's what we'll probably need. However, we're not done yet here. And the reason why is I need to change the color here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do color adjustment. I'm going to say here, after the begin path, I'm going to say ctx.fill style equals. And the fill style will be equal to, let's make it simple here. Let's say here, RGBA. And then we say here, 0, 0, 0, and then I'm going to say 0.1. But what I want to do is I want to make it a template literal. So let's make sure that this string is converted into a template literal with backticks. Then I can put here a value. So I say $, and put in here the value of I. So it will become darker. Am I correct? RGBA, RGBA. Make sure we spell it correctly. There we are. So now we have different shapes here, and as we keep on going, that will be nice. What happened if I would remove this? There's no difference. So in that case, I would accept that change, and this is perfect. So the next thing what we want to do is we want to put in here some text. So we have some text in here as well.